Yes, something popped up on my screen here.
Hello. Hi, Jaba. You're
Hi.
live now. A very good afternoon to you. How are you this morning?
Very good. Absolutely looking forward to speaking to you.
Me too. Me too. I've been really looking forward to do that. So just let's do a quick round of introductions for those people who might be watching us who are new to this. So my name is Shivangi Walke, and I'm the founder of Thrive with Mentoring. Thrive with Mentoring is a women mentoring nonprofit, or nowadays I like to call it for benefit organization, which started in Switzerland and then since has gone to India in many different cities and a couple of other European cities with a lot of potential. And tell us a little bit about yourself, Jaba.
Okay, so I'm Jaba Menon, a certified leadership coach, a life coach and a mentor, a business leader, led marketing, led business for about 3 decades, and traveled all over the world for work. I was privileged, so got to work with people in different cultures. And so here I am in my journey of life. With coaching, mentoring, taking 80% of my time now, and consulting on business and marketing, etc., maybe 20% or even lesser. So this is my passion, which I am following now.
Excellent, excellent. It's really a privilege to have you as a Thrive mentor, Jaba. And I wanted to take some time this afternoon for you, morning for me, to find out, some of your views, because we are going to launch 3 more cohorts of Thrive next month in July in Delhi, Pune, and Hyderabad. And we get a lot of questions around, what this is about, etc. So we thought, why not speak to somebody who has lived through that only for the last couple of months. So everything is really new, but really to, hear from your experiences. But I wanted to start it with a broader question. Why do you think is mentoring important for women, Jaba?
Well, I would say 3 reasons. One, women, I think, are the diamonds with immense potential. The most repressed, yet the most potent agents of change. I think they are the powerhouse of wisdom, courage, compassion, resilience, inexhaustible energy. So the diamond needs to be taken from our storerooms in the apartments to the Cartiers of the world, to the Tiffany's of the world. Third, being an economic student, if we don't believe, which I don't believe, in a distorted definition of GDP, then I think they contribute 90%. And this is what the research says. It's not my feeling. But have they got 90% dividend? The answer is clearly no. So that's why it is so important to mentor women.
Great. Thank you. And I love that analogy around, a diamond in the rough that needs to be polished. And I think that is probably what a mentor, is supporting their mentee with. And as you know, that Thrive has chosen a unique space to be in with mentoring, where both Thrive mentors and mentees are women. By no means do I feel that women should be the only mentors of women. I do feel that men also are very important to be mentors of women. But, one of the things that I realized during my work as a leadership consultant and coach was that the system, both unconsciously and consciously, has kept away women from becoming mentors. And, just like you become very good at learning something by teaching another, I think that when you have the responsibility to develop another, to polish another diamond, then you develop yourself. That's just a given. So this initiative has resonated quite heavily, across the world, both in what could be old-fashionedly called developed and developing countries. So there's something deeper, I think, at the level of humanity which resonates with it, right? Because all these women across the world, like you, prolific, successful women like you, are becoming, are being so generous, so radically generous with their time. Hundreds of women. So it's really a great pleasure. Jaba, what attracted you to Thrive with Mentoring? And I know that slowly we become a bit of a known brand, but I think when you signed up, that was not the case. What brought you in?
Okay. So I think 3 is my favorite number. So I think I can think of 3 reasons spontaneously.
Yeah.
Firstly, let me tell you, it's my honor and privilege. Every time I meet a mentee, I think it's my honor and privilege to be mentoring them. But that was not one of the 3 reasons. So the first reason was that I think I was a living dead a few years ago. Not a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago. And it was only a mentor who revived every cell of my being. And so I sit with you today. And so the Facebook profile and LinkedIn profile somewhat matches my inner core today. So my LinkedIn profile was just the same 10, 15 years ago, or my Facebook profile was also perhaps similar.
Yeah.
But inside, I was a living dead. So I understand the value of having such a great mentor in Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, who is my mentor, besides many other professional and personal colleagues who also play the role of mentors in different ways. But Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, a prolific writer, peace activist, author, poet, photographer, you name it, and he has done it. And he submits a peace proposal on humanistic management, along the humanistic management lines, which you just referred to, every 26th of January to the UN.
Right. Yeah.
So I have been privileged to see the role of a mentor in my life.
Yeah.
That was one. Second, I think it resonated very well with what I have set out to do, my own mission. I have a finite number as to how many, at the minimum, I would like to see making transformations in different lives. And that's, of course, not confined purely to women, but transforming X number of lives. I have a finite number, and that's my goal and that's my mission. So it resonated very well. Third, you asked me a very pertinent question. It's not yet a brand, and why did I lend my name to it? I think there I would give 100% credit to my friend for 30 years, Smriti Goel.
Yeah.
I just trusted that since she knows me so well, she would put me in touch with an organization which would resonate with my values. So blindly, I just accepted it. So that's the reality.
Thank you so much, Jaba, and thank you, Smriti. We're very privileged to have Smriti also, as a thriver and also as a chapter lead, one of the chapter leads in Hyderabad. I'm surrounded by these amazing women, some of whom I knew, Smriti I knew, but many new women like you, Jaba, coming into the fold and then bringing in like-minded, committed women. And it's amazing to see, and that I didn't know, because I know Mr. Ikeda from my studies of Daishan in Buddhism. So I think that's an amazing coincidence that I was not really aware of. So thanks for sharing that. You have a mentee. It's only been a couple of months. What has been, Jaba, the highlight so far for you as a mentor for this particular relationship?
I think my belief, my foremost belief, has been reinforced that every mentee has huge potential. So all that they need is a little nudge to partner in their journey to the Tiffany's. Second, I think they are as committed, but the world around them doesn't see the potential, in fact, just tells them the opposite. Most of the time in their environment, what they can't do. Yeah. So I think the most rewarding moments are when I can trigger the vulnerability, their vulnerability, and therefore that is the first step to change in my experience. So when I can trigger their vulnerability, when I already know that they have immense potential and I believe in them, I think they are so excited about walking the journey to their own Cartier or Tiffany's. And I'm just facilitating the process slowly and gradually. That's my role. So that's been my experience, even with my mentee over the last couple of months.
Great, great. And you're really starting off on that journey. Do you have, and I know, you have done a lot of mentoring and coaching. What tips would you give to Thrive mentors? 25% of Thrive mentors today are coaches and, are in the field of human development. But we have the majority of the Thrive mentors who bring a very good intention, who are able to work, with their mentees in a particular way. But they're always looking for more inspiration. So given your experience, what are the 1 or 2 tips you would give to Thrive mentors? Probably people who do not necessarily have coaching, life coaching, executive coaching, whatever background.
The question was for the mentors, right? Mentor. Did I get you right?
Yeah, for the mentor. Yeah.
Okay. So I think the tips for the mentors that I can give is that our life cannot be compartmentalized for business and personal. It's one same person. Mm-hmm. So I think the business angle adds huge value. But at the same time, if every mentor can focus on the inner core, which will finally translate into their everyday performance, irrespective of where they are. Yeah. The fundamental rules are the same. Inner change. How do we bring about the inner change, which will sooner or later translate into or manifest in whatever they do? Yes. So I think the mentor's entire responsibility is not to just drop the task lists or the action points or to feel successful. A success of a session, measure a session by how many action points have been drawn. While the action points are very critical to succeed in business as well as in life, however, this change will not be sustainable unless the inner change is powerful enough and it is coming from the mentee. There is a strong buy-in of that. And that is where I think mentors, tools, skills, mental models, a sound process will really help. Right. I think that's my take on the mentors.
Great, great. And what about mentees, Jaba? You probably work with mentees of all ages and backgrounds. Thrive mentees tend to be women who have at least 5-7 years of experience. Could be 10, 12. I mean, it varies, but that's the typical. 80% of them will be 5-7 years of work ex. What tips would you offer to them?
I would say just the reverse of what I said for the mentor. Mm-hmm. Stop shouting at the shadow and stop applying makeup on the mirror, which is reflecting the diamond in you. So take 100% responsibility, no matter what the situation is, at workplace or in personal life. Not 50%. Don't leave the 50% to your supervisor. And don't leave the 50% to your parents or spouse or your friend. 100% ownership, 100% responsibility if it affects you. And then focus step by step, slowly and gradually. Again, stay focused on the inner change. Self-improvement. Self-improvement, self-change is the key to change our destiny. So that's what would be, instead of passing on the buck and feeling disempowered and helpless, take the step, take 100% responsibility, grab it, and then walk slowly and gradually but surely on a path of self-change. And that will make you meet the goal.
Thank you, Jaba. Thank you for these very good, very useful words of wisdom. Something has occurred to me, spontaneously, and I don't mean to put you on a spot, but I just thought I should ask you this in any case. What is a question, Jaba, you wish I had asked you?
Oh, okay. I have to think, what is the question that you should have asked me? Well, I think the success stories, experiences of individuals are the biggest proof of what we do, right?
Yeah.
So I think one question that is relevant for everyone to be able to relate to mentoring
Yes.
is experiences of individuals.
Yeah.
So that's that journey, whatever aspect of life it may be.
Yeah.
I think that is one question when every mentor can relate to, every mentee to some extent can relate to, and that's what triggers a change. It's like, it's the effects are phenomenal because we are here to inspire each other, learn from each other, and real life experiences, not theory and not what I heard or what I read, because there's enough of that in Google. We don't need to sit across the table and talk like this.
Yeah.
So opening our hearts out to each other in platforms like this, perhaps that's a question that you could schedule the next time.
That sounds excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Jaba. And yes, we will be meeting.
We are pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much. Thrive is launching in Delhi again on the 14th of July, and it's going to be at the Ramada Central in Gurgaon. We have again an amazing batch of mentors and mentees like Jaba. So really wanting to welcome all, more and more women to join this community. Some people start calling it a social movement, to join the social movement. To support each other and to celebrate our successes together, right? Yeah.
Your commitment will make change history. So if it happens in a committed manner through a process which makes it sustain your initiative, this initiative, Shivangi, will create history.
Thank you. Thank you. And it is only the women and the way they engage with each other, because essentially what Thrive does is offers a platform, right? But it's so much ownership and commitment is needed by the women. And you've given a very interesting perspective. I think we'll keep sharing more and more success stories. And I think that will inspire more women to say, okay, if so many people can do it, so many women can do it, I can do it too, right? Because we tend to pull ourselves back. And I think that's very useful. Thank you very much, Jaba. Have a very nice afternoon.
Thank you. Same to you, and I look forward to the Delhi event and see you.
Yes, same here. Take care. Bye, Jaba.
Bye-bye.